The 1999 Matrix film is actually much more than just an entertaining movie. It's actually a tactic called revelation of the method that allows the white society to avoid the law of karma. There are hidden rules and principles within this warfare of domination that must be adhered to. The oppressors must make their oppressive tactics available to the oppressed. They therefore often embed them within movies, TV shows, and within books. They don't make the revelation easy to recognize. They do so only enough to meet the threshold necessary to avoid the law of karma. They masquerade it as appear as just being merely entertainment. However, because the oppressive tactic have been made available, when the oppressed do not act upon the knowledge, by default, they've given the oppressors permission to oppress and rule over them. It's a social contract that allows the oppressors to avoid the law of karma. The first Matrix film is clearly a revelation of the method, a film that allows the white oppressors to avoid the law of karma in regard to what they've done to we Africans. Case, point, and proof. Within the Matrix film, Neo awakens to discover that the true humans were being mentally enslaved by soulless beings that masqueraded themselves as being the highest evolved humans. Moreover, that these soulless beings are the programmers of everything that the true humans believed. They perpetually kept the humans trapped within a false version of reality that allows them to exploit them without any resistance. I will now provide information proving that that same scenario is what's happened with the Africans and Europeans. Africans are the true humans being mentally enslaved by these soulless non-humans, our oppressors. And they do program everything that we believe. According to two studies published in the journal Nature that looked at the DNA fossils hidden in the modern human genome, Africans have been scientifically proven as being the only true homogeneous species. Africans' melanated skin and hair type have been scientifically proven as being the direct result of our Homo sapien DNA. Caucasian skin color and hair type has been scientifically proven as being the direct result of Neanderthal DNA. These studies also reveal that Caucasians today retain their Neanderthal DNA that affects not only their hair, their skin, their fertility, predisposition to certain diseases, and possible other characteristics. These results also prove that Africans are not even included on the Darwin evolutionary theory chart. Unlike Caucasians and other groups, Africans did not evolve from primates. Africans have instead always been Homo sapien. I've just revealed that just like within the Matrix film, the true humans are being controlled by non-humans that masquerade themselves as human. The actual scientific term for Caucasians and other groups are actually Homo sapiens sapiens. The additional sapiens refers to modern humans that evolved from primates. The Caucasians separated themselves from the Neanderthals of Europe and attached themselves onto the human history of we Africans, while falsely claiming themselves as being the highest evolved. They've explained away our physical differences by creating the narrative that they are merely African albinos, that they turn white due to migrating to the colder climates of Europe, a form of cold weather albinism. But it has now been scientifically proven that is totally untrue. Caucasians are not African albinos. They inherit their skin color from the Neanderthal DNA. Now I will demonstrate that they are the soulless beings like in the film. According to many scientists, the pineal gland located in the center of the brain is important, not only because it produces melanin, but also because the pineal gland produces the human traits, characteristics, and behaviors associated with possessing a soul. This includes sympathy, compassion, empathy, and remorse. It's therefore regarded as the principal seat of the soul. Scientists have found that the pineal gland within Caucasians are over 80% calcified and therefore non-functioning. This literally means that 80% of what controls Caucasian thoughts, decisions, and behaviors in regards to what is thought of as a soul does not work. This scientific finding correlates with the collective behaviors demonstrated by Caucasians throughout history. For throughout history, the Caucasians have demonstrated a total disregard for the human lives of other racial groups. Their subjugation, murder, and exploitation of non-whites has been unparalleled. There has never been a time in human history where the oppressors have not exploited millions of people and have not contributed either directly or indirectly to the misery, suffering, and deaths of millions. They've in fact killed, pillaged, and raped more people throughout history than all other groups have done so combined. And they just haven't changed. Quietly, as is kept and underreported, today, most violent crimes are still in fact being committed by their group. However, because they control the flow of information, they've kept this fact away from the public. Given these facts, is it wrong to question, does the oppressors actually have souls? Or do they merely impersonate the behavior of empathy and sympathy? Now, to summarize, I've just demonstrated that Africans are the true humans that are being mentally enslaved by these soulless beings who are Caucasians who masquerade themselves as being the highest evolved humans. Now the question logically becomes, well, how are they exploiting us? How are they exploiting us without any resistance? It's a reality that many of us have been psychologically blinded from seeing through the white society's monopoly over information that we receive, which allows them to control what we believe. Here's how we are being exploited. The true hidden reality is that in spite of cultural traumas wrought by the injustices of white racism and slavery, most inventions that revolutionized the world were in fact either invented by Black people or were directly inspired by early inventions by Black people. The white society exploits our genius minds while manipulating us to believe the fraudulent worst about ourselves. They exploit the greatness we move society forward, but they keep us believing the fraudulent worst about ourselves. You see, the white society literally owns Black people's interpretation of ourselves. It's a fact. They control our narrative. They control our media images. They write our history that we're taught in schools. They control how we African Americans see Africa. They control how Africans see African Americans. They control our perception of ourselves. And they exploit this control to keep us believing the less about ourselves while exploiting our greatness. It is the real matrix. It is time to wake up to our reality.